Hey everyone, welcome back to Chef Tyler's Croatian Kitchen. Today we'll be making Škampi na Buzaru. Buzaru is a pot and also a method of cooking that you do in this kind of pot, and it's not really something I think you can translate well into English. We've done one of these before for our Christmas Eve episode, Nana's Special Dinner. That is a type of Buzaru. Essentially everything goes into a pot and it cooks in added liquid as well as its own. This style of cooking is found all over the Croatian coast, from up in Istria down to Dubrovnik. And it changes as it goes further south. So the north is going to have tomatoes in the Buzaru, so it will be red. And as you go south, they remove the tomatoes and it becomes just a white Buzaru. Something that I didn't realize when I went to Vis, and when I ordered lobster na Buzaru and it came and it was white, I was very, very surprised. Still was amazing, of course, but not expected in the least. So today's Buzaru is going to be Škampi. So we have our shrimps here. These are technically langoustines, and those are called Norwegian lobsters because they basically look like lobsters. They're just a lot smaller. You can find them, they're whole shrimp, in the US. Make sure you get them whole because you want all of the flavor that comes from their shell. This is one of those dishes that looks like it'll take a long time, but really is actually quite simple. The whole process, including prep time, takes only about half an hour. It's really, really easy and it looks amazing. So next time you have guests over and you want to impress them, you should make Škampi na Buzaru. So let's get on into the ingredients. Of course, we have Škampi. You, like I said, want them whole. They're supposed to be pretty big. You could get smaller ones as well, but as they get smaller, the amount of meat you can get off them decreases a lot, and at some point I just feel it's not worth it. So the bigger Škampi are definitely better for this dish. In addition, we have 1 onion that we'll chop, 5 to 6 cloves of garlic, some parsley, tomato sauce, white wine, breadcrumbs, and salt and pepper to taste. If you have fresh parsley, definitely use fresh parsley, but for whatever reason, Konzum was out of fresh parsley. Also, you can add fresh tomatoes as well as the tomato sauce, just like we did with the bruschetta. I'm going to be serving this with spaghetti, just because this reminds me of something Nana would make, her Christmas Eve dinner. But the more traditional way is just serve it with white bread. I like pasta, so we're going with pasta. The kind of pasta you want, probably would say something longer like spaghetti or linguine, even angel hair. I like angel hair. I feel like angel hair gets like a bad rap and a lot of people don't like it, but I like angel hair. That's today's hot take. Angel hair is a good kind of pasta, and anyone who says otherwise is not welcome here. I'm kidding, we love everyone. So I'll just prep all our ingredients and I'll meet you over at the stove. So here at the stove, I have a pot of water behind me coming up to boils for the pasta. And then here I have the largest pot I could find coming up to temperature. I'm actually going to throw in some olive oil by now. I don't think I will be in the same position where I used too small of a pot because this thing is huge, but no, this will be big enough. So first we'll just add in the onions. There we go. And let these saute until they are translucent, about 7 minutes. After the onions have softened, we will add in the garlic. These, of course, only have to cook for about a minute until they are fragrant. Now I'll add in about a teaspoon of the parsley. A little more. Of course, like I said, if you have fresh parsley, that is preferable. And about 3 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. Next, let's add in this jar of tomato sauce. This is about 680 grams, this much in Imperial. And after we get the rest out, we're going to fill this halfway with water and the other half with the wine. And once filled, just give it a shake. And we'll add it back. Okay, I think I did the opposite and I used too big a pot, but I think that's fine. Let's stir this together. Actually, before I forget, we should add in our seasonings. So we got salt, and pepper. And bring the heat up. And once it comes up to a boil, we'll add in the Škampi. And with this coming up to a boil, we'll add in the Škampi whole. These will now cook for about 15 minutes or until the shells have become translucent. There is no need to cover. As it cooks, it will start to reduce. And now we'll just leave this to cook. Once it's all done, we'll head back over to the counter where we will serve. And after the Škampi have cooked, remove from the heat, and it's time to serve. I already gone ahead and put some pasta into my bowl, and actually put all the pasta in here, and this looks like an actual normal amount of pasta for a person. Always make too much. And we'll just go and get, first I'll do the sauce, so there's some Škampi in here too. Okay, but I do want the sauce to go onto the pasta first, so it doesn't get all clumpy, and then I'll start putting on the Škampi. Wow, I guess when I moved it, there was some steam coming off, and that's what I felt in my hand. All right, let's get the Škampi out now. There's 2 there. I'll do, I think 3 might be good. And here we have Škampi na Buzaru. One of the things I don't love about Škampi is that there's a lot of shell and a lot of work involved with eating them, and not a lot of meat. Like, at least with the lobster, the tail is pretty big, the claws are large, you get a lot more meat from it, but Škampi, it's a little smaller. So this is just my thing why I don't love them. But I think I mentioned this before, I'm trying to show Croatian food, and just because I don't love something doesn't mean you won't. Eating Škampi can be a bit intimidating if you've never really done it before, so I'll just go over real quick how it's done. Pick up the Škampi, and we'll just twist the tail off. Now we have 2 parts. The tail is where most of the meat is. We'll do this one second. Everyone always says you have to like suck on the head. You just go. Okay, I actually got something there. Usually I never get anything. And you just go like, and I feel like I'm sucking air. I feel like I'm missing on something. But I got something this time. That's where most of the flavor is, everyone says. Now the heads, there's not really anything else you can get out of here if you sucked everything out. So we'll leave them on that side plate. There is supposed to be some meat in here, the claws. But I mean, it tastes good though. I get something. Not a lot though. The real mess, or the real stuff, comes from here. The tail. You have to crack each and every single piece by the leg to come off the shell. And it does get quite messy. Right. Removed it. Take the bottom off as well. And it should just slide out. Now, we normally do eat without like deveining, but if you want to, you can pull the side off and pull out the little vein that runs down the back. But you can eat it. People do it all the time. It's not a problem. Okay. And now we have the meat, and this is what you do. Make sure I'm with the sauce. It's amazing. It's so good. There's just so much work, I think, for that little payoff. There's some water here, and you just wipe off your fingers and dry them. Yeah, the big thing with Škampi and me is just all the work you have to do to get to the meat. And it's not all that much, even though it is amazing. Of course, the pasta is going to be good. I know it'll taste just like the sauce. Yeah. The sauce is just amazing. Like, this is, I guess, like you do get all the flavor of the Škampi coming out from the shell and having the entire thing in there. And it really just tastes amazing in the sauce. So Škampi plus, that's a lot of work, but at least it does taste amazing. Next week, we're going to be doing Škampi again. We're doing something a little bit different where we're going to actually be getting a lot more use out of the shells. So check back in next week to see what that's about. Anyways, in the meantime, I think it's time to finish the rest of this. This was Škampi na Buzaru. If you liked what you saw, please hit like and subscribe. and double-edged deck.